The last time I was here was in June. And I knew what was coming up for me on July the 15th. On July the 15th, following a diagnosis in March of 2025, I had a cancer in a cartilage in my throat. It was a rare kind of cancer, and fortunately, it was circumscribed round. They got the whole thing at the cost of my, for which I'm very grateful, at the cost of my voice box. Today is the 8-month anniversary. July 15th, today is March 15th. And the worst week of my life was post-surgery, the first week at the foothills. I spent 16 days in hospital. I won't get you the details, but I had to affirm my willingness to let go. Now, affirmation is a saying yes. Willingness actually doesn't come from the mind. The will to live, the will to be grateful, to love, to find peace, to connect, to stay with our heart, it actually comes from the soul. And in my writing the book, I talk about, as Winnie the Pooh says, I am a bear of little brain, and long words bother me. And it only came to me this morning that I'm ignoring everything I wrote. That willingness to let go mostly of the mind. There's mind, heart, and soul. What usually does the grasping is the mind. I want this, I don't want that. And I'll do everything to control, or try to control, even the uncontrollable, to the point of exhaustion. And when we let go, we're actually not giving anything up. Because when we let go, we release the grasp of trying to make things the way we want them. I, me, mine. And that was no clearer to me than that worst week of my life, literally. In July, my body and my mind were finished. My emotions were exhausted. I had every symptom you can think of. I was exhausted. I couldn't think. I couldn't concentrate. I was nauseous. I had an infection in an area in my neck. They were poking me with needles. I couldn't talk. I couldn't drink or eat. It was all through a nasal tube for the first 6 weeks. And after 4 days, I surrendered to what is. And then my favorite question, and I think I've said it here before, Allan, what's called for when you are done? When your mind has got no more answers or solutions. You can rage against the world. You can have your reasons. Everyone can agree with you, your reasons are valid. But do you want to be right or do you want to feel better? So when we surrender, and I should say that Tina volunteered me to lead the conversation afterwards. After 12 o'clock, we're having a conversation downstairs somewhere. And to facilitate the conversation on letting go. How many people are planning on coming to that? Just a show of hands of you. If it was a majority, I'd probably say more. I'd probably say less now, but let me share with you some of the territory I believe we're going to cover. Letting go is not giving anything up. Letting go is undoing the grip of the mind, my feelings, my emotion, the I, me, mine. And when I open my arm, my hands, I'm free to give and receive. To give and receive. Surrender does not mean letting go of something and just waiting there passively. Surrendering the white flag, I'm beaten. That's just the first step. But what we're opening to is the heart and the soul. And the heart is about love and connection. We know this. And that's felt at a deeper level than thinking. It's known. It's experienced. We know what love is. We'll talk about language in a moment. What is soul? You can talk about soul in any way you like. In a Christian faith-based community, it's called Christ consciousness. It's called the Spirit of the Lord within me. In the Jewish tradition and faith, it's the feminine aspect of the divine, the Shekhinah. In the Hindu traditions, it's called Atman, the condensation of Brahman into the human being. The Buddhists call it Buddha nature. The quantum physicists call it quantum energy, the vibration that lies at the heart of everything. Forget the language. What is the function of soul? Soul is the deepest part of what makes us human. It's a source, a spring. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. And when we're in touch with that, it keeps us alive. It's what kept me alive during that week of surgery. One morning, I called my wife, Michelle, and this is actually the third talk I'm giving publicly since my surgery. I called my wife one morning at 5 o'clock. I said, you got to get here. I don't know if I can carry on. My mind and my body were done. And I wasn't in touch with my heart and my soul because my emotions and my story and the physical suffering was so great. While we were chatting in the room, I felt the presence of this dark, just a dark presence to my left. And I knew it was death. Didn't talk to me, didn't have a shape, didn't have a face, wasn't calling me. But it's the darkest darkness I've ever felt. And it was waiting for me to make up my mind. Am I in or am I out? Michelle and I were there. And I don't remember it exactly, but I said, no, it's not my time. I'd let go of believing that I could think my way out of it. Or that somehow the medicines would get it right. Because the medicines I had for the pain made me nauseous. And the more nauseous I got, I threw up. And when I threw up, I got more nauseous. The pain in my neck. We tried all kinds of it anyway. But I said no. And as I got in touch with my heart and my soul, because my mind was done, everything shifted. I remembered my granddaughter, whose second birthday is next week. I remembered my kids. I remembered Michelle, my dog, my cat. And I remembered why I'm alive. Because it's that spark that keeps us alive. The philosopher Albert Camus said, considering how much pain there is, it's amazing. What is it that stops more people from committing suicide? We focus on people who kill themselves. It's the ultimate tragedy. The question is, why don't more people suicide? What keeps them alive? What keeps people hanging on? They're not hanging on. They're being fed by something deep inside of us. In a spiritual community like this, we know that the further inside we go, we drop into heart and soul. We come to that deep, still silence, which is full. That we are connected in the silence of that space. That deep, beautiful silence inside of us is the vibration of the universe. If any of you haven't seen the movie Gravity, it's a very, very good movie. Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Some incredible scenes. And relatively speaking, very little dialogue. But they're out in space. And there's a silence. And silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. And what we let go of is actually becomes a gift. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is opening the door to the unknown. When I'm lost, when I don't know what to do, I go, oh, this is nice. I used to fear it. Fear, vulnerability, uncertainty, the unknown. Weakness, pain. I used to fear it. Not anymore. Because those things come up from the mind. But the heart says, thank you, mind and thinking, for getting out the way. Now I can do my job of healing what needs to be healed. The mind's job is to keep that space open. What is it that's needing healing? What is the theme of your dream? Where are you feeling stuck today or tomorrow? Not what do I do, but what's called for. The heart has these answers. The soul will tell you what your meaning, purpose, significance is. And I'm wrapping up. When we unify, we come to the unity moment. We unify the brain, the mind. We don't leaving it. Because otherwise the heart and the soul becomes fluffy sentimentality. We need the mind to connect the inner world and the outer world. The world of action. The world of external relationships. We need the mind. But when we unify the heart, the mind, and the soul, by definition, we're more full. It's not just mind anymore. So it's fuller, it's richer. And the heart and the soul have got much to offer us in terms of quality. We've got all the quantity we need. Everyone in this room is privileged when we look around the planet. this room's privilege, myself included. We've got more amount than we'll ever need. Let's tie this into the unity principles. God is. Well, so am I. I am. Because there's the thought process. In Greek, they call it the logos. Thinking language. The heart is love, the ethos, the ethical and the eros. And the soul binds it all together. And when these three talk together, when we're in that space, that's the act of prayer. Tell me number 3. I create. We creatures. We are created in the image of God. We create the space by letting go. We can only become creative by letting go and making space for something new. What's number 4? Number 4 is prayer. I pray. Prayer is a commitment. It's a language of the heart and the soul. They say that when you pray, you're talking to God, the divine. When you meditate, you're listening. And we act in the world. My final comment. When we use language, we have to talk in a sequential, linear way. But in reality, we aim to be higher. The aim, the goal, the process, the method, the outcome and the result, they're all the same. That's the unity. That when we go in, we start to see the dance that's happening. Our job is to let the dance happen. So enjoy the dance and we'll enjoy some more music. Thank you.